Taresha, so I'm gonna record this so we can post it up on social media. I'm gonna blast you out. I'm gonna put your name in lights. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to get you out there so people understand what we do, why we do it, and how we do it, and how real it is. Got it? So questions. Introduce yourself, your name, where you're from, who hired you, and how long ago.
My name is Taresha Coleman. I'm originally from Michigan. Diane Crump hired me.
Where did Diane Crump find you? Were you a client? Did she run across you 3 foot rule? Did you answer an ad?
Definitely was not a client. Diane found me online. I was actually scheduled to interview with a different company an hour after I spoke with Diane. They reached out to me via email, and I went on ahead and picked the time to confirm it. But Diane called me from a number that I didn't recognize, and I heard her voice and the way she spoke. Um, and I was hooked when she went through about TLG right there over the phone with me. So she
What was,
found me.
well, that's how you've obviously heard about TLG. You were applying for positions. How long ago was that? How long have you been with TLG, Tarisha?
Since September 9th.
Okay. Man, that is not long ago. What's your previous background? Were you in insurance? How long have you been in insurance, or what did you do for work before you found TLG?
Sales background, no insurance. Um, this is my first go around with insurance. I've been licensed since May. And I wanted to get into something that wouldn't saturate. I wanted to get into a market that I didn't have to worry about it going anywhere. I wanted to always have something to provide income for myself, like no matter what's going on in the world. So that's kind of what inspired me to get into insurance. But I've been selling for the last maybe 12 years.
Where were you selling?
Where or what?
What?
Oh my gosh. I've went into homes and sold water filtration systems when I lived in Texas. That was fun. I've walked up to perfect strangers in Home Depot and sold refaced cabinets for kitchens. That was exciting. I've went door to door and I've sold electricity, get people to lower their bill. Just to name a few things off the top of my head.
I love that. So you're no stranger just to talking with people in general.
No, not at all.
No, that shines through. Practice. When I got started in this industry, I was taught because I wasn't that type of person, like as you think. I had a company. I wasn't out there. I wasn't in sales generally, but I was told to just spark up conversations and get used to it. Told to just spark up conversations with strangers, introduce yourself, figure out who they are and what they do. And just through that practice, I got better. And you've had that coming in, right? You already had that background. Some people, have been training for a position like this for years and they didn't know it. It's like leading up to what we do. I love that. What was your initial thought process on you? Because you got your license in May, I think I heard. Process on. So, what was your initial thought process on the insurance industry? Why did you get into insurance?
I've heard stories about people that have made millions of dollars. I've never seen $1 million, but I definitely want to.
Okay.
The legal way. You know what I'm saying? I've heard amazing stories of people that started from practically nothing, that found a passion and sprinted with it and have completely different lifestyles. And I want one of those stories to be mine.
I love that. Sometimes it's not about the money, but it's what money can do for you, isn't it, Tarisha? Not have to worry and have a quality life and make decisions not based on whether you can or can't, but
Right.
whether it's good for you or not good for you, right? And that's exactly what business does. I'm telling you, I haven't seen it, and I've been a part of I've been a part of lots of businesses. I was in the military. I've waited tables. I've done concrete work, flooring work, you name it. I've done a lot of different things. And like I know coming in here with this is such simple work and we get paid so well to do it. And your future is in your hands, Tarisha. Like, you just sit down every day. And I love the mindset of being able to make 7-figure income. I didn't think, truthfully, I was like, well, I don't know if you can make seven-figure income as a personal producer, but we know stories of agents that already have, right? We've got agents that are running 50 to 60 leads a week, writing 130 something $1,000 a month. You add annuities up in that picture, and boom, that's a seven-figure income. It's a lot of work. I'm more of a leverage type of person. Right. Right. Which is building an agency. I think you can build an agency and create a seven-figure income. The more who do, the faster your team gets to it. So, are you a full-time agent, Taresha, or a part-time agent?
Full time.
Do you have any kids?
Yes, I have one son. He's 28 years old.
28-year-old son. All right.
Mhm.
Why did you decide through that conversation with Diane? Why did you decide to move forward with TLG?
Diane told me her story. And she didn't sell me her story. She told me her story. And she was authentic, um, genuine. She came across very genuine because I wanted to know, I was asking questions from the get-go. I'm like, okay, she comes off really genuine, but how long will it take me to start making money doing this? That was important to me because of, my situation. And Diane was honest with me with her story, and I was inspired by her story.
I love that. When it comes to honesty, like we tell y'all guys, the most important thing in this business is authenticity. Diane has a powerful story, and this is a lesson for all of you builders out there. Develop your story. What is your story? Tell people your story. Your story will move people. I learned that 15 years ago of the development of my story. And the cool thing is it's still being written, Tarisha, right? We're still within our story. How big can we make this story? We're going to continue to turn the page. And boy, this chapter is up next. That could be a real one, right? That could be a great chapter. We're writing it. For those of you out there hiring, if you're not using your personal story, it's like, but Aaron, I don't have anything exciting. You know what? Success creates the story. You go ahead and you work hard and you push hard, and you're gonna have your own story written. I love that, and I love that Diane has that story to tell. But again, she's still writing it, and it's still going on. Um, what leads did you start with in TLG?
TLG fours, 50 cents,
50 cent lead. So what were you investing on a week? What was your first lead purchase?
$100.
Off that $100 on TLG fours, what was the outcome?
Oh my gosh. Um, I made a little over $7,000 in
Hmm.
annual premium
How
from
many?
that first 50 cents batch of leads.
Oh, that is insane. But it is what it is. Like, when you find the right conversation, how easy was it for you to get in a conversation with people?
I started on a Tuesday. So
Mhm.
my first dialing session was in your room with everybody in there. I
Uh,
had just got the script, and I think it was like the third person that I called answered. Diane told me, I know that phone weighs 500 pounds, just start dialing. So it was easy to get into a conversation.
how did that conversation go? Did they hang up on you, or did you set the appointment?
No, I set the appointment. Um, I was nervous because I was reading, and I was shocked by the responses that I was getting from the client. Very shocked. And what I remember the most about that first conversation was you after I ended that call, because I was expecting to kind of I don't know, you to share everything I did wrong. But you did the opposite. And you spoke to the things that I did right to book the appointment.
That's
And
right.
I was hooked from that moment.
We can always point out flaws in people. People can point out the flaws in me, right? Nobody's perfect, but if we highlight the things that we're doing right, it empowers. Come on now. I love that aspect. It's how I've always trained. I'll empower people to do what they do. But guess what? I know you were prepared going into that call. You may have been nervous, but you had practiced that script a few times, haven't you?
Yes. Hmm.
So going into your first dial session, everybody's nervous. You know, even the top producers here, they'll tell you like it's a 500-pound phone. You get nervous up front, but if you go in with practice and you just push through the conversation, you're going to start to feel the flow of that conversation and get better and better and better. One thing I noticed about you is you continuously got better and better and better with each one of those conversations. It doesn't go that way all the time, but you went in prepared on that first call dial session and you set your first appointment. Did you close that first one?
Diane closed it for me. I got to watch Diane with my first appointment. And then the second one, I was like, come on, Diane, I got another appointment. She's like, yeah, you got another appointment and you got this. And I closed it by myself.
So again, those out there training, I encourage you guys, however you want to do it. If Tarisha set an appointment for you, or you've got your agent set an appointment for you and you run it with them, however they can visualize it, put people on your appointments, put them on the Zoom, let the client know. What do you say when you have other people on a Zoom, Nelson or Diane? What do you guys say when you bring people on with you? Do you introduce them as the agent or just, a trainee? What do you guys say?
It depends on the situation. For me, I like to usually say, "Hey, I'm working with Diane." I'll tell you what I said. I said, "Hey, Diane, is it my turn or your turn?" She said, "It's your turn." I said, "Oh, you guys are stuck with me then." And we continued with other agents. I might say, "Just get started," and then along the way, especially if I offer them a job, I let them know, "Hey, she's brand new too, but look at how well she's doing. Can you see how I train my agents? I let them learn as we go." And then that empowers the person I'm trying to hire to want to be with us. And I think I did that with Tarisha, didn't I?
You did. Yes.
And Diane did that too, but she did it a little differently. How'd you do it, Diane?
When we get on, I always have them introduce me as their partner, not as their senior partner. This is my partner. We work together, and today's her turn, so she's gonna show you the information, and then I take over, and I just introduce myself, and and just relay back and forth until we get to the end, and then once we close it, then they take over. They open up their screen so that they can do the application with them, but we get them engaged with their agent so that they know that Tarisha is their agent, not me.
I love
So
it. I love it. Yeah, the moral of the story is got like you seniors out there who are hiring, guys, show them the deal. Show them what we do. When I was in the field, I would take agents out with me pretty often. Number one, it made me perform at the top level. I knew how to perform, right? Everyone needs someone to perform for and with. And when you have an agent that you're training and watching you, you're going to do everything right, especially at Diane's level, who I know does the primary, the ADB, and the CI. This is why Tarisha has taken off. She's like, well, I just saw exactly how she did that. I'm going to do that every time. Right? Right. So if you guys are training that way, you're going to develop agents like Tarisha that catch on and move and do the right things the first time. Right. So no, I love having agents on calls. I used to take agents out with me, Nelson, except like they were with me all day because I would go to Fayetteville. So they were with me all day long. And I used to do things like not use the bathroom so I can hit as many appointments as possible. And I get screamed at, when are we stopping for lunch? When are we going to, I'm like, I can't stop. I got to go, go, go. I was running 10, 15 appointments a day. so some of them really saw like an eye opener at the pace you have to run in order to write 30 to 50K a month. It is a high pace, but the reward after high pace is massive. Let's talk about, when was your breakthrough month, Tarisha? It might have been your first month. What was your first month in production? September.
A little under 13,000.
So first month in insurance ever, working, what we were talking TLG4s. Did you hit up the threes? Did you get to some victory leads at that point?
I didn't start Victory until my second month.
Okay, so all September, $13,000 was based on TLG4s, 50-cent leads,
50-cent leads, threes and twos.
threes and twos. So a couple dollar to 50-cent leads. October. What did you hit in October?
It was right under 12,000 in
Okay.
October.
Did you move up to V1s, V2s in October?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So now we're in month three. You're already over just under $15,000. So we're already at a record month for you. Right. We're calling that. But we've got goals this month. I know what your goals are, in hitting this. How many appointments are you running weekly now in comparison to last month? Or you could be running the same because there's a method to training for this, isn't there? We've got to, number one, be able to talk to people and set appointments. Number two, we got to get them to show up to appointments, right? Number three, when we sit with them, we got to make sure that we close the appointments. So it could have been a scale up through all of that of training, but you tell me, are you running more appointments now than you were the last 2 months on a weekly basis?
You hit the nail on the head. And Nelson's actually been pushing me to move faster, to book more because I'm booking around the same, between 5 to maybe 8 in a week.
Okay.
Um,
But you're
but
but you're getting them to show up then. So I'm hearing a skill
right.
level increase from booking 5 to 8 a week and maybe 40% showed from what it sounds like, maybe 30 or 40%. Now, what's your show rate now?
Oh my gosh. I would say like between 60 and 70% now.
Okay.
Yeah, out of 10, 7 are showing up.
I love that. Okay. So now we're going to listen to Nelson, right? And you've been listening to Nelson now, but you know what the hard thing is when a leader tells you to speed up, it's like, I feel like I'm already running real fast. Right? Right? It's like, oh, what are you talking about speed up? I feel like I'm running lightning speed right now. But guess what? It's a leader's job to stretch. The leader's job to push and pull you. And I understand, like, when you feel like you're running, it's like, okay, I believe you can run faster. If you just put your arms out like that a little bit more instead of to the side, if you just kick your front toes out, we know you can go a little bit faster. We can set from 8 appointments, we can go to 15. And at a 70% ratio, then now we're writing $10,000 a week. That's what we're looking for. So keep listening to Nelson and Diane on that. They know what they're talking about. What has your investment grown to, from your first week till now? What did that scale look like?
Went from $100 investment for my first week to now I'm up to 400 or 500 a week. Mhm.
Hey, how many of you guys are stuck at 100 still? You want to stop? I'm telling you, there's more money and more investment. Like, don't say stuck. Y'all move up. Y'all work the investment and continue to scale. Your job, Taresha, you might not be able to see it, maybe you will, is to get to 1,000 a week. You in?
I'm in.
All right. See, I know she's coachable. We're going to take that from 400 to 500 a week to 1,000 a week, and then we're going to show you what $30,000 to $50,000 a month looks like. That's what that investment. That's what it'll look like. Okay. What does your daily schedule look like? What does Tarisha's schedule look like when she wakes up and goes to work?
When I wake up and go to work, most days, first thing I do is I call Diane with my follow-ups from the day before. Um, I stalk Diane's schedule, so I see how busy she is, and it's important to me to be the first one to get on the phone with her so that everything I need I have before that first dial session. 9 to 11, I'm there. I am there. I get excited to see Nelson jump on because I know I'm going to get some gems, get some nuggets, even if it's not directed towards me. So I feel like the dial sessions is where the magic happens. Nelson never lets me down when it comes to feedback, coaching, on the spot coaching, and just watching him in action. Because he's not just saying come off mute, he's coming off mute. So it's super inspirational. And then I try to book my appointments in the middle of the day or like after the last dial session in the evening. Um, that's the goal every day. And then of course 6 to 8, I'm there. And I get excited about the blocked appointments and meetings and trainings that we have. So like I said, I started on a Tuesday. The next day we had Wednesday winners. Lake led it, and I was my goodness, completely blown away. So like Wednesday winners, I get super excited for the 20K impact call. I'm there. I'm there. Yeah.
I love this conversation. So those of you that are new to the agency, we do live dials. A lot of the time the agencies do live dials 9 a.m. Eastern to 11. We do agency-wide live dials tonight, actually, 6 to 8 p.m. But I want to put an emphasis on this. Leaders that are on there, those of you that are hiring, your people you invite on want to hear you unmute. They want to hear the example. They want to hear you and hear you by example. As just Taresha just said, she can hear Nelson and how exactly he handles situations. So if you guys aren't inviting people on, or you're just hopping on, you're like, well, I just want you to unmute. I want you to unmute. I'm telling you, you're going to get people to unmute faster from all the leaders hopping on and unmuting so people can hear how it's done to exude confidence in the rest of the team. I think that's a culture that we can really change, and making sure that our leaders are on and they're unmuting and it's measured that way. So Taresha, do you agree? It's
Yes.
better having the leaders on and setting that example by unmuting, and then we can ask for, especially new people. It's like, listen, if you got confidence, and Taresha did the same thing. She's like, I'm just going to unmute and then I'm going to run this. I bet you were nervous on that first one though.
Yes.
I bet so. But that's how it runs. We move with confidence, and guys, just unmute. Let us help you. We're there to help you. Leaders, unmute so they can hear you and understand what it is that we do. Your weekly schedule. Are you running every day, Taresha? Are you taking any days off?
Just Sundays to be with my grandbaby.
To your grandma? Did y'all know Taresha was a grandma? I did not know Taresha was a grandma. Taresha, Sundays
Yes.
off. Okay, so you're running pretty hard. Are you what hours are you working? 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday?
Depending, but yeah, 9 a.m. to 8 or 9 p.m.
Do you
Monday through Friday, and then a half day on Saturdays, unless I book a same day appointment. I book a same day appointment on Saturdays. That's part of the schedule.
you taking some lunches? Or you just sitting at your desk for 15 hours straight every day? Like, what are you doing?
I actually told Nelson my first week I barely slept, and I had to remind myself to get up, stretch my legs, and eat because I was so excited. And I didn't want to miss anything,
I could feel
you
that.
know. So yeah, I do get up. I make it a point to stretch my legs, go for a walk, get a little air. But anytime I get a ping from Diane or Nelson and they're like, "Can you join Zoom?" Like I'm already there. I'm already there. So I don't want to miss anything.
I I can tell, just from that reaction that you were right where I was when I found this industry. I was like, come on now. I could not sleep. I was just counting numbers in my head. I was excited to go spend $400 in gas every week. I was like, I don't know where it's going to come from, but if they're saying this thing works, I am in and I'm not missing anything. And that's just the way I ran. I'm still that way to this day. I still wake up and pinch myself, Taresha. I'm like, I can't believe I live this way. It's just amazing that if you work hard, you get great results from what we do. So stay on that track. Stay on that track and continue to expand. Allow leaders to push and expand you to what you want. From what I heard, I want a 7-figure income. That's going to change my life. We're going to push you to that. We're going to push you to get that. I want you to have that. And that excites me. So what is your goal, Taresha, for the next 90 days?
My goal for the next 90 days is to blow my own mind and produce 30K or more of annual premium consistently. That's my goal for the
On a
next
monthly
90 days
basis? On a monthly basis?
on a monthly basis.
I
Mhm.
love that goal. I love that. That's a top 1% producer. At running, $360,000 a year more. This top 1%. You can do that. There's no doubt in my mind that, matter of fact, anybody on this call can do that. You really can. We've got the lead flow, we've got the training, we've got the experience, we've got the validation. We have agents already doing it, right? So there's no reason when we have someone already doing it in this system that it can't be you also. I love that goal. Why? Do you believe that you can achieve that goal here in TLG?
Because I have an unmeasurable amount of support and guidance and direction from Diane and Nelson. I really believe even when I'm not winning, I'm winning, if that makes sense.
It does.
I don't have the same vision that they have when it comes to what they see in me, just being a little vulnerable and very honest right now. But I believe in what they do because I don't just hear it, I see it. So if they say this is what we're doing, I don't have to understand, I don't have to agree. That's what we're doing. And I'm seeing bit by bit, and I share this with Diane often, it's starting to slowly but surely make sense as to the why. But I don't question when Nelson gives me direction, that's what it is. And quite often, I don't understand it, but I yield the results from it. And the understanding can come later. And that's just how that goes as far as the why for
So
me.
from what it sounds like to me is that you just have faith in your leadership.
I do.
That's what it boils down to. When you guys have faith and we can have fear and faith at the same time. We're going to help you understand, like, it's okay. Like, as long as you're still moving forward and we got you at every turn. That's what it takes to be a winner, within this industry, is just to continue to move forward. Because guess what? You're not going to win them all. We're going to earn through experience, and we're going to learn through experience, right? Like, it doesn't matter that, win or lose, we're learning or earning. That's all it is. And continue to move forward. Give 3 keys of advice as we close here, Taresha. 3 keys of advice for new agents to set themselves up in the beginning to start to gain momentum.
3 key pieces of advice. Number 1, show up. Don't miss the magic. That's number 1. Number 2, unmute and be vulnerable and open for feedback. And number 3, really be coachable. I mean, like, not like, okay, sure, no problem. I mean, really be coachable and have the courage and the guts to actually implement. I can't tell you how many times where Nelson has given me direct instruction to do something a certain way, and it's totally not how I would think on my own to do it. And I don't question it. And I mean, like, the very next interaction, I yield the result that I didn't see, but Nelson saw it, if that makes sense. But that only happens if I'm open and coachable and not questioning and fighting the feedback because it doesn't feel natural yet.
I
That's
love
my
that
3.
advice. It boils down to, are you willing to listen? Are you willing to work hard? Are you willing to associate with the leadership and communicate with the leadership? That's it. I love your rhetoric, Taresha. And this is why she's blowing past and smoking level. She's going to smoke past gold. She's going to hit platinum. This is a future platinum partner and above. Y'all listen, she's coming. And for those of you who are like, oh my gosh, I can't, how is she doing it? We just laid it out there for you. She's just listening and she's just working hard and she's got faith and confidence and authenticity, all of the above, in order to make this thing work. And do you hear the energy flowing out of her mouth? Energy. That's what it boils down to. When you decide that you want it as bad as you want to breathe, then you can have it. And it sounds like Taresha wants it. Taresha, I'm proud of you. I'll always use you as an example. I know I've been doing it over the last couple of months, but I wanted to give you your spotlight today because you are absolutely moving, and proud of Diane Crump leading you, Nelson Alvarez leading you. Hey, we're looking for more just like you. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for more Tareshas that want to step up and get after it, because at the end of the day, she's just putting in the work. And you can outwork 90% of this company. You really can. But if you just wait and wait and wait and set and wait and wait and wait, nothing's going to happen for you. Most of you already know what to do. You've been here long enough, right? Most of you already know what to do as far as investment, lead flow. You've got the scripts. You understand all of it. We make the dials, and sometimes we don't have to put a number to it. We know, okay, $150 a day. Sometimes we don't put a number to it, and we put the numbers to how many sets we want. Maybe it's 5, maybe it's 10 a day. Those building, a lot of you already know what to do as well. Get to as many conversations as possible on a daily basis. Filter in those who will work and filter out those who will not. It is that simple, right? You know what to do to really succeed big. You just haven't done it enough times yet. That's what it boils down to. In the shorter time blocks, right? Some are like, well, I've been doing it for years and years and years. I think I've got the reps in. Condense the reps. That's all it is. When we talk about your first 10 appointments, condense the reps. How fast do you want to get to your first 10 to have your aha moment? You want to have that within 2 months, 1 month? How about within a week? Condense the reps within a shorter time frame, which requires intent, focus, and discipline. It does, because you've got to push away the distractions and you've got to pull in your desire of what it is that you really want. Success isn't some magic list or trick somebody knows. It's the obvious list that most people just won't do. That's it, on a consistent basis. So what?
Aaron,
Yes, sir.
this is so blatantly obvious, I can't help but just restate it. When you're with your interview with Taresha, all you did was highlight what you've been teaching for years. You said to me early on that you were told if you can grade yourself an 8 out of 10 on each one of the steps of the team steps, that you'd be really wealthy. And all you did just now with your interview was go through the 8 steps and showed how she was just line by line doing everything that we all know to do. She just did it more proficiently from day one. I know it took me longer, but I said the same things in the beginning to you. I couldn't sleep my first week. Diane couldn't either. We were just ultra coachable. Anything you said to do was like, yes, sir. I even told you, listen, if you see me getting out of line, you have permission to put your 10.5 boot in my ass. Did I not say that to you?
You still say it.
I still say, why? Because there's nobody else trying to make me a millionaire but you. All she did was say 8 steps. Here's where I graded myself. And if anybody else is wondering, she's not super special. She's just really good at following directions. Right, Taresha?
Success is a series of choices. What you are not changing, you are choosing. What you guys aren't changing as far as your business, the work you put in, the mindset you have, your ability to listen, work, associate, communicate, your grade on all 8 of those steps that we call the 8 steps to success. What you are not willing to change, you are choosing. And I know Taresha is choosing forward motion. Success is just choosing that on a daily basis. I got to make that choice every day, Taresha. I got to wake up and say, today's going to be a great day. We're going to crush today. I'm going to hire 5 agents today. I'm going to go train some agents today. We're going to have a great production day. Someone's going to see this business for what it is and take off today. I'd say those affirmations every single day. You know why? Because I'm dealing with a lot of agents who, it's funny how I'll get a call of the world is freaking ending. And then in 5 minutes later, my world is exploding with excitement. And it's been that way for 15 years. It's hilarious sometimes. I'm like I'll go but I have to stay right here all the time, no matter what, right here all the time. Person's like, man, I just sold 8,000. Person stood me up for 5 times in a row. It's like, well, it is what it is. Keep rocking. Like imagine that 27 times a day. That's my life. That's what I got to deal with, solving problems or, just exuding happiness and joy and celebrating all day long for 15 years. And I love it. I wouldn't trade it for nothing. I love doing it. It has changed my life forever, Taresha. And so just keep going. Get in there on that hiring mindset. So you've got, here's what I'll say to you, and I will end with this. I'm going to go over some leaderboards. You have now a particular set of skills that you can train others to have. And you can just duplicate and duplicate and duplicate and duplicate. And that 7 figures is closer than you think. I was 29. I gave myself till I was 40. I gave myself basically 10, 11 years. But I was able to move and leverage, and I was able to do it in 6 years. Y'all can do it faster than me because I was in the field. Y'all know what I'm saying? I was driving 800 miles a week.